to
Boom.
We are on live in my house.
Your dining room.
Welcome
to
Ron.
101.
Tiffany!
What the heck?
This is what?
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Raw Babes 101. Under the sea, under the sea. I'm here with my mermaid. My mermaid, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Fuck the fairies. I'm a mermaid.
Yeah. I'm loving the mermaids.
The mermaid. I ran into like a couple hairdressers, and obviously everybody's obsessed with my hair.
Obviously.
And no one has seen this color before.
Of course they haven't.
It's like I know it looks kind of red in
It's
the...
orange. Way more orange.
It is orange.
Hey, it's actually like
Ariel,
but also Wilma. She's got the orange hair
oh,
too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I look like Wilma right now, don't I? The bun, all the things.
You have to turn your cuff around.
Turn it around.
Huge advertising. You're advertising.
I'm left-handed.
Oh my, are you really?
Yes. You didn't know this?
Well, now it makes sense. Oh my gosh, this all makes sense, you guys. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, weekend.
Whenever you're listening.
Tuesday night, Wednesday night.
Well, it's ready for Wednesday because sometimes it takes a little while for it to load jump on and be on all the platforms. So that's why we put it on
11,
Tuesday
11.
night, 11:11.
Yeah.
One of the best numbers you can have out there. One's easy. 111.
So, Tiffany's going to be going away, and I'm also going away tomorrow. So we're recording on a Monday, and you know what's really cool about this? We didn't even realize it, but it's a very special person's birthday today.
Yeah.
So
it's Jackie's birthday, and Jackie has been my best friend for I don't know how many years, so many years, but she passed last year. And so this whole year, it's been, hard. It's hard losing someone that you're like, have that unconditional love for them. Mm-hmm. And then shortly after, not too much long after, well, a few months ago, Tyson passed. Mm-hmm. So Christina's husband.
Yeah.
Christina was part of the podcast in the beginning. So all that is, everything's changed. Everything's changed so much. And it's hard to see for the better because it hurts so much. It sucks, but
it's such a big loss. It's such an empty feeling.
It's such an empty feeling, and a lot of tears. But today, me and her daughter went horseback riding to celebrate her birthday, and it was amazing because it was raining yesterday, and today the sun was gleaming.
Unbelievable, beautiful sunshine.
So nice. Mm-hmm. I love the sun.
So happy birthday.
Yes.
And you know what actually is so cool? When Tiffany and I were scrambling around to release our very first YouTube episode, it was so fucking cool what happened. So you guys have to listen to this. Tiffany and I are like, we're trying to download the YouTube. We're trying to upload it. We're realizing we have to convert it. We are at my house. My internet at that time, I didn't have proper Wi-Fi connection. So we're literally doing everything we can because we had said we're going to be launching our YouTube. So we're going to do what we can to obviously hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah. So
we are like up till 3 a.m. It ended up being 6 a.m. But at this time,
we literally pulled it all night of that.
Yeah, just to get our.
That
YouTube.
Was nuts.
It was unbelievable.
I've never done that sober before. So, anyways.
Yeah, and total sober, and it was wild because Tiffany all of a sudden looks at her phone, and she sees her Facebook, and you know when those like memories or those things pop up, she looks at it, and it's a flippin' memory of Tiffany,
my old podcast,
and someone else,
yes.
Another friend. And she's looking at it, and right underneath in the comments is Jackie. And she says, "Cheers to the two of you."
I'm so happy for you. We're so proud of you.
I'm like, Oh my God. I'm
Kristen
like,
almost like
I lost,
shat herself.
yeah, and like Tiffany had tears coming down, and I was like, that's just her giving us a sign of like, look at you guys going, look at your hard work, dedication. It was so cool.
She's
so
like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah, it was just like divine timing.
Yeah.
It was so nice and so reassuring that she
We
was
had
just
a couple of things that happened that evening, like the electricity, the lights was flickering.
Oh, there's lots.
There was lots, and that's usually, you know, in the spirit world, that's just them kind of fucking with you and letting you know that you're there, that they're there.
Yeah.
So whether that's scientifically happening, either way, it's still divine time and energy that's, you know, being held in that space. Like, why wouldn't it be the outside realm? Why wouldn't it?
Why wouldn't it?
Sure.
Exactly.
Makes me sleep at night.
So we gotta go here. We gotta go into this topic because
it's yucky, but
it's really shitty that we have to talk about this, but we need to talk about this because this is what we do.
Yeah,
we want to bring real. We want to bring awareness to everyone, and we want to prepare everybody to the best of our ability if any scares, red flags, or things like this are going to happen. And we're going to talk about what we're even talking about. But I know you're intrigued because you're like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
What are we talking about?
So maybe Tiffany can start with what happened to even bring this topic up. How we even got to this.
Okay, so this is how it started.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Da 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 da. This is how. Okay.
So it was a beautiful Sunday morning, and my husband and I were just watching Vikings because we're literally obsessed with this show. We're just having a pretty chill day. Like, we really didn't have any plans whatsoever. And one of my dear friend of mine, like, I'm not gonna mention names, but she's like been a big part of our life and our family and whatever. We haven't seen her in a year and a half, and it's just because COVID, but also before COVID, it's like life's busy, and the kids used to hang out together all the time, and then, you know, I don't know, sometimes you just kind of grow apart a little bit. Yeah, it's not a big deal. So she messages me out of the blue. She's like, what are you doing? Are you up for a visit? I'm like, what? Are you? Yes, obviously. Come over. And Dave's like, there's something wrong. Is there something wrong with, is she okay? Is she okay? He said, call her. He said, no, I texted her. She's coming over right now. So she comes over, and we're having this amazing catch-up session, like talking. She was over for about 4 hours. It was awesome. It was such a good visit. But I always kind of, in the back of my mind, I'm like, what does this mean? So, lo and behold, she tells the story. We have another story within the story. So the story goes like this. I'm not going to give like the real full details on it, but basically what it came down to is she had just experienced a moment where she realized that her and or her daughter was about to get kidnapped. And she was in this store, and there was a group of men in there that was not, it wasn't like unusual, but yeah, it was, but she wasn't gonna even put any attention to it. She was just a mom mode, doing her shopping. It's this privately owned business, whatever. And she didn't really notice anything until she put it all together later. So what ended up happening is a couple of men ended up standing really close behind her daughter. Like, so close that, like, she could probably hear their breath in her ear.
Oh.
It was fucking creepy. So that was the one thing that raised her red flag for anything at some point. It's like, why are you standing so close to my kid? Like, fuck off. And then she noticed the guy that was working there was in eye contact with her because she'd been there numerous times, and I guess they'd kind of known each other. And she saw his eyes shift past her to the dudes behind her, and it was almost like he gazed like shifted his head, like leave them alone, like go away, not them. And so that happened, and then during the times of like going back and forth to getting product or whatever, the men that were behind her, a couple of the other guys were fighting with them. So there was like a kerfuffle and throwing their phone, like through their phone, like trying to bust his phone and just try to. There was a lot of like distraction that was happening also. It was just super uncomfortable. There was just, by the time that they left, the daughter goes, "Mom, that was so uncomfortable." And my girlfriend was like, "Oh," everything just started clicking. Everything that was in her peripheral that she wasn't putting any attention to was really red flags. But she was just not standing in her awareness to be in, like, to think that something like that would even happen. No, because she's familiar with this place. She's been there lots of times.
Wow.
But again, she couldn't get in the car fast enough either.
So it's like her intuition and everything, her
she almost threw
feelings were just prompting her.
Yeah. She actually, she ended up talking to a friend of hers who's a cop, and he told her she needed to make a report. Yeah. So she did. She made a report.
Good.
And this same cop ended up, he was close to retirement, and he put together like this self-defense workshop, and 300 women showed up.
Wow.
300 plus women.
We need to do this.
Oh, we signed up for jiu-jitsu yesterday. The whole family. We're all in jiu-jitsu now. Because I strongly believe it. Like, jiu-jitsu is like the most versatile and beautiful martial art, I think.
Okay.
It's a lot of grappling. You're going to break someone's arm. You could break the leg. You could put in holds.
It's learning self-defense. It's learning so that nobody will fuck with you, and if they do grab you, you can get the fuck out of there.
No shit. So,
Excuse my language.
Really. Are we apologizing for saying fuck?
No. But it's just like, this is serious.
So serious. And all I could think is, oh my God, if something happened to them, how would that make me feel? Like, I'd be fucking devastated. Like, literally broken. And we've been, the real conversation that we need to have here is that there are women and people going missing out of the blue. Where the fuck are they going?
Yeah. There's
no connection to anything. There is no trail and any reason for them to go missing other than they've been taken.
Yeah. And
if they're being taken, where are they going?
Yeah.
What's happening?
And why isn't this being like talked about more? And why isn't this
we're only focusing on the fact that a person's missing and we're looking for her. Not on the why.
Yeah.
Why did she go missing?
Yeah, and the who.
And the who, and the what, and the what the fuck.
Yeah.
So, I went online. We went online last night. I ordered a lipstick taser. I ordered some self-defense, like keychain things. I'm going to show my kids how to use them. But the reality is these things are real, and there's trades that are like the sex trade is probably the biggest.
Yeah, biggest industry and fucking scam.
Bigger than fucking avocados.
Yeah.
Okay, so these things can happen, and we watched Hostel.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen it. But
it's a gross, gruesome horror movie, but I feel like movies kind of bring a bit of truth.
Mm-hmm.
And
what can happen?
The concept of that one was travelers. They're traveling. They get kidnapped, taken to a lair where billionaires like to go and mutilate other humans.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're just never seen again. So how would we know this is true? We wouldn't know this is true, but there is a lot of information out there leading to speculation, and it's enough. Yeah. It's enough for me to raise red flags, make my intuition go crazy, because I'm sorry, like I'm a woman, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's really easy to rape us. I'm not gonna lie. Like in the sense of, how do you rape a man?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot rape a man unless if you're like
That's
a woman can't rape a
Tiffany,
man.
That's a good point.
Yes, a woman cannot rape a
Yeah.
man. How the fuck are you gonna rape a man?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're just sticking shit up his ass.
Oh my, yeah, right.
But like, come on.
This is huge.
So we need to bring awareness to this conversation
And give you tools.
Tools, yes,
of what to do.
And
if
our
you're in
whole
this situation.
podcast is actually learning and like listening to our intuition and raising our higher self so that we can be in this type of awareness. But don't think for a second these shitty things can't happen to you.
To anybody.
I'd never think like that because I just bought a fucking taser.
Yeah. Or there's like,
don't fuck with me.
There's like even pepper spray. There's lots of different things. There's like things you can do when you're walking. Like,
yes,
I think
everybody needs to learn a little self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone's gonna steal me, I'm gonna fuck them up a little bit. Yeah. They ain't going down without a gouged eye.
Honestly,
or a ripped ear. I'll fucking rip their ear off.
I do not feel that you are a candidate for any person.
I don't think you want to.
No,
kidnap
not
me.
a chance. So,
I'd rather die trying to get away.
Oh my gosh!
Mm-hmm.
So before I share my story,
mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna give a few tips on what you're talking about for what just happened to her,
mm-hmm.
and then I'll talk about my story.
Okay.
And then you guys can wait to hear it, because the cool thing is when Tiffany called me later, she's like, "Hey babe, what are you up to? I want to just talk about, like, what are you thinking for the podcast? What should we talk about?" And I was like, kind of thought of a few things, and
because this story rocked me, and I had just heard this story, and it literally shook me up.
It did.
Yes.
And you said to me, you were like, "Well," and she shared the story with me, and I was like, okay, this is messed up, because I just had a story shared with me that had to do with a child.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like real deal, somebody that works for my dad, his daughter. So I'm going to share that story after, but first I think we should dive in to talk about some tips on what to do and for women to be safe. And when you're out there and you're driving and you're alone and you're doing different things. So
mm-hmm. We got a lot of notes here.
Yeah, I'll come back to.
We're gonna
do
my our best to get through all of them, because this is a no joke.
This is a no joke. This is the most important tools and tips that can save your fucking life.
Yeah.
Of what we're gonna tell you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to go through it quickly so we can really get into this. So this is if you're in your car. Check in and around your vehicle. Lock your windows and doors at all times. So whether you're leaving or you're coming, always your windows are closed, your doors are locked. So if you see an accident, report it from your car. Do not get out of your car if you see an accident on the road. There's been made up people where they will pretend to have a flat tire on like a road and waiting for the perfect candidate to come over and pull over to help them. If you are driving someone else and you're dropping them off, make sure they're inside safely and make sure people do the same for you. So I drop off Tiffany and I watch her to get into her car, and not into her car, into her house. Mm-hmm. Her lights are on. She's safe.
Always wait.
Always wait. Vice versa. Same thing.
Yeah.
With me, like even getting into the car, it's good to just make sure
always
you're safe.
Just wait.
But check your fucking car first.
Yeah. Turn
your light on. Look inside your car and around your car.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah.
Park your car in a well-lit, heavily traveled area. Try not to park next to a van or a truck, as you can be easily pulled inside. Huge. And obviously, like if you're in a parking lot and then you come back and there's a vehicle that's parked, sandwiched you in, don't go in. Go back into the mall and get the security officer to come and walk you to your car. Call somebody.
Yeah.
Don't trust your feeling. Like if something feels off, your intuition, if something feels off, don't even fucking attempt it.
Your intuition doesn't even have to go off because something has happened yet. Intuition is a lead up to what could happen.
Yeah.
So if your intuition, something's not feeling right and you haven't even approached anything that makes sense to why your intuition, just know that the intuition came out for a reason.
Exactly.
And Just
trust it.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Experienced kidnappers often conduct surveillance on potential victims using cars. Be wary of the same cars following you for long periods of time. Also, when we're always traveling the same distance and we have the same schedule, people that work 9 to 5, they get in their car, they drive the same route, they come home. It's very easy. Go a different route.
Mm-hmm.
Do a few different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if your husband drives a different vehicle, swap cars once in a while.
Yeah.
It's really good. So now this is switched to if you're on the street, and this is when you're walking. So first of all, tell someone you trust where you're going or who you're going to be with, and when you are expected to return. How many people do this? Not very many. Like, I'll tell my parents, hey, mom and dad, I'm going to go to this event, but I'm not really going to the extent of where, when, who, what, why, and how.
Mm-hmm.
But this just prompted me. On my phone, I have emergency contacts, and this is very good to share. So you can choose emergency contacts on your iPhone. And then if you hit the button, I want to say flip. I think it's like 1, 2, 3. It's a certain amount of time. I have to figure this out because this is the emergency response. I should have known this before. So because I've picked however many people, if I click it, I believe it's like 3, 1, 2, 3. It will prompt every single person that is on my emergency contact list, and it will notify the police and the location.
Oh, really?
And it will tell the people, my mom, my dad, whoever I have as my emergency response, that Kristen has just hit the emergency response button and that the police are going to be called and that they will be notified.
So on my phone, I've seen the SOS on there.
Right.
Too.
So you have...
I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, we will do it. So once you go into it, and it's a red star, and then you say how many people you want to be notified when you hit the emergency 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And it's awesome because you could just be walking, you could be scared, and you could go 1, 2, 3, and then it's gonna alert everybody. It's dope.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Thank
awesome.
You for sharing
You're welcome, and I will
look into that more.
I'll confirm, and then we could even put it in our notes. Okay. So if you sense someone is following you, when you get off of the bus or train, walk towards a well-populated area. Or what you can do is you can answer your phone and you'll pretend to talk to someone and say, hi, okay, I see you. I'll see you in 1 minute. Start waving at a person or a car driving towards you and start wave them down. Because that person that could be following you or potentially is going to be after you is like, oh shit, their person's picking them up in like 1 to 3 minutes. So obviously it's not a good candidate.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Do not wear headphones or read while you're walking or standing in the street. Mm-hmm. Do not wear headphones. And Tiffany talked about this on one of her other episodes.
I did.
With running or late night or walks or actually any time.
I never listen to music. I don't have anything in my ears when I'm running, ever. Or walking. If I do when I'm walking, because I like to listen to podcasts, I have the earbuds, so I'll put just one in.
Perfect.
But still, like, I am with my dogs. I would not be walking in the dark without my dogs, but I will not run. And this is really quick, but I was driving down the road and there was a bear, and this girl was walking, and she had the earbuds in, and I couldn't warn her. I couldn't even tell her that there was a bear behind her because her shit was too loud. Yeah, it's, you guys, like, this is a life-saving tip. Yeah. If your earbuds are in and you're walking, you can't hear anything. Your intuition's even off. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Okay, guess what I do? When I'm walking and I'm outside and I'm with my son, my speaker is on, and I'm listening to whatever I need to listen to or talk to that way. Yeah. Curveball about fucking earbuds. Don't wear them at all. There was just a fucking TikTok of a doctor, what they were removing out inside of the eardrum of a man, and it was a mucus sac this big that they had to go and surgically remove from the earbuds. Ew! So you have to think, you're blocking your earway. Yeah. So it's natural for whatever to come in and out.
To secrete. Yeah.
And it's causing problems.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I don't use earbuds ever. It's not something that I personally use or do, which is fine. Some people love it. Just moderation, because
Thank you. Everything in moderation. Yeah.
Oh, always walk facing the oncoming traffic. Nobody can creep up behind you and slow down and quickly grab you when you're walking facing traffic. Very, very important.
The other main safety one is that you can see the vehicles coming, but
That's right.
I never thought of that.
See, this is what we're talking about. It's saving lives. We are freaking saving lives.
Yes.
Okay. It will be harder for someone to abduct you when they're going on the opposite way.
Obviously.
So don't wear high heels while you're walking. This is for women. Like, there's a lot of women that work downtown and they look cute. They're going to work. They're going to look great. Bring a backpack, throw your runners in it, and then switch when you have to go in the bus or when you're walking home. Mm-hmm. Because if you got a fucking bolt, you don't need to be worrying about those high heels. You just need to
shit. Oh, fuck, run. Those things would be off so fast. I'd just run there.
Of course. But still save your life. You don't need to have to do that. You just have to be in runners because you're prepared.
Yeah.
Avoid ATMs at night. That's a given.
Yes.
But people do it. I've done it.
Well, my cousin got pinned after she took money out of her ATM. They followed her home. She lived in like a dead end alleyway, that's just the way the houses were, and the driveway was there. So she pulled up to her house, got out, quickly ran in the house while the
oh my gosh,
the car was still on and her purse was there. Because it was just a quick thing.
But
they had followed her.
But how many of us do the quick thing?
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, they followed her and then they took her purse. And it was like their rent money.
Wow.
And actually, I'm pretty sure my husband chased him down. So
wow.
Yeah, that's like.
Did they get it?
No, they didn't. But they broke a fence trying to get him. So
that's crazy.
Luckily, it was just the fence that was broken, because if they got him, it would have been his face.
Yeah, but it makes sense. Like, even like what I was saying before about like locking your windows and locking your doors at all times, because we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
Who is watching or looking? We just don't, and that's scary, but it's reality. Okay. Avoid restrooms or stairwells at night. Obviously. Don't get into an elevator with someone who makes you feel uncomfortable.
Oprah talks about this. She talked about it like years ago on one of her shows about intuition and the elevator thing. So you see someone in the elevator,
just say no. Like, just don't go in it.
No one's really sharing elevators too much these days, anyways. No. COVID stuff, whatever.
Totally.
Take the next one.
Okay, so those are some tips for women and men to avoid that. From in the car or whatever, and I think I'm going to share this story about what happened now.
Can I give two tips?
I would, of course.
So one is, if you obviously not everybody's going to have a self-defense weapon, but you can make anything into a self-defense weapon. So I strongly, like when I was a kid, I did karate and we learned a few things. For one, the ear. It is the softest part of your body. So if you are being attacked, you can actually rip someone's ear off.
Oh.
I know it's gross, but I'd rather do that than
end up somewhere else.
Exactly. So ears coming off. The other one is carry a pen with you. You can use the pen in, like, you can jab it. So we have certain pressure points in our body. So behind the ear, in the collarbone.
Eye. Freaking nails in the eye. You have any nails?
Do not put your keys through your fingers in your knuckle, like for a knuckle sandwich. Don't do that. You're gonna fuck up your hand, and it's just it's actually not even a smart thing to do.
Okay.
No. The other one is that we quickly shared this just before we got on. But if you are driving and for some weird reason you're getting pulled over and you're not, and it's like an awkward, it's nighttime, it's like
there's nobody around.
Nobody's around. Don't pull over. What you can do though is you can call 911 and make sure that's a legitimate pullover, that is actually a cop in that vehicle, because it has been known and said that you know, people will jump in a cop car pretending to be a cop. And
it's been reported.
Yes, it's been reported
on multiple times.
Yeah, so if you feel uncomfortable pulling over, call 911 and just be sure. Why not? And if he gets mad at you, whatever, you call 911. You're just like,
yeah, it's okay.
It's a great alibi.
it's actually okay. Like if your intuition is, and you're scared and you're like, I'm in like,
yeah,
but fuck nowhere.
Yep. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Totally.
So those are tips.
Yeah, those are awesome. And
Tips.
And honestly too, like, be like, really think about what position you're putting yourself into before you do it, because I think this podcast is going to make a lot of people aware now, and they're going to go, oh, you know what, I've put myself into some pretty scary positions. God. We all have.
I can't even believe I'm still alive.
Oh my god.
Some of the shit I did when I was younger.
Oh my gosh.
So dumb. But
yeah, again,
I'm this loud, bombastic woman, and I don't really think I fit the criteria for...
Second side note on what Tiffany's just saying, that's the other thing. On the spirituality side of things, we're not telling you any of this to be scared and to freak you out and always be like paranoid, because we don't want to attract that energy to you, and we don't want you to be like in this paranoid, oh my gosh, something's going to happen to me state. We want you to be in an empowered, like, okay, I'm aware of my surroundings, I'm standing in my power. And the other thing that they are telling us is, when you see somebody that might not be that, like, that you might have that intuition, they could be a little bit scary, you look them in the eyes. When they're walking by you or they're where you are, look at them. Like, stare them in the eyes, have your shoulders back, like, don't be hunched over, don't be scared, don't be like this, look at them.
Your power stance,
guys. Power stance, look them directly in the eyes, like, I'm not afraid of you, and you can't fuck with me. And stand in your power, and have that confidence and say, I am protected, I am safe. And it's very important to do that, to call your power and to stand in your power, because it's going to help. Anything's going to help.
Well, predators read your energy. They're energy suckers, and they like insecure innocence. They really do. So either innocence or insecure, or unaware. So if you're not being aware of what's happening, you're not paying attention. But
totally,
staring someone in the eye is definitely a sign of confidence. Yeah. And hey, even if you don't feel confident, fake it.
Fake it. Yeah, just do it anyway.
Fake it till you make it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So the story that I'm going to tell you, we're gonna, move it over to the kids, which this is next level. I was like, are you serious? This can't even be. I was like, Dad, what the fuck? Okay, so my dad's, someone who works for my dad, it's his 9-year-old daughter, was playing outside of their house, just on the street. And the parents were inside, and she's playing around, and there's a man across the street, and he gestures over to her, and he's like, come here, like, come on. She's like, no, like, kind of like that. So
I just want to fucking, this is enraging me right now.
This is brutal, you guys. So he's like, come here. She's like, no. So he comes across the street to her. And he's like, hey. He's like, come feed the birds. And she's like, oh, no, that's okay. He pulls out a bag of dog food. And he's like, let's feed the birds. And she's like, no, that's okay. I don't want to. She's like, I think I should go. And he's like, well, just wait. Here's my phone number and my name. Let's meet back here tomorrow and we'll feed the birds together. So she took the number and ran inside the house and tells her parents, and the mom's like losing it, obviously. Like, what the hell? Calls the number, talks to this dude, and he's like, yeah, I said that to come and meet me tomorrow, blah, blah. She's like, are you kidding me? Whatever. The dad goes outside to try to see where this man is. He goes walking down the street, and he's at 2 boys that are around the same age that are on bikes talking to them to then invite them for whichever. The boys like jump on their bikes and get out of there. So this man starts screaming at the kids and swearing at them. So this man, not the man, sorry, the
dad
runs into the house to grab his keys to follow where this man's going because this is serious shit. So he follows him. This is in East Vancouver, and he goes behind Lowe's and sees he has a camper, an actual motorhome.
Oh, fuck.
And there's other motorhomes there as well. So he follows him. He phones the police while he's in the car. He's telling the police what's going on. They give the description. The police come to the house. The police go to the camper. He's known. He's well known to the police. They then took it so serious. So like, this won't happen again. Like, this is not okay. This was like to the sergeant of sexual offenders. It was like they were on the phone with him, and they went to the to his camper and took him. And he's gonna follow up on this.
Yes.
To make sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because for him to have enough balls to do that at that time, he was obviously weak and exposed himself. But how many times has he done that already?
Totally.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And come and feed the birds.
Cut off his dick.
Cut it off. Just brutal.
Fucking cut it off. Sorry.
So this is the big tip for all of us to teach our kids. The little girl didn't want to be rude. And guess what? We teach our children to not be rude to people.
Oh, God.
This is the problem.
Mm-hmm. That's a fucking big problem.
This is a problem. And nothing against the parents. Everybody's doing the best that they can. This was brought to our awareness for this exact reason, to share on the podcast, to then make me aware, Tiffany aware, and to share with all of you. And then for you guys to share with all of your friends and family.
100%.
So if your children and your child, you need to say to them, it's okay to be rude to a stranger. If a stranger is asking you to do anything, you scream and you run away, and you do not owe them a thing.
I was just going to say, you don't fucking owe them anything.
No, you don't, and it doesn't even matter. This is a huge statistic. 2,100 children a day in the U.S. are abducted, and only 20% of them is by a stranger. The remainder is of family members. So we need to teach our kids. I know. We need to teach our children. This is the best tip ever, you guys. Listen. Teach your children to not even go with an aunt or an uncle or anybody else unless they know the fucking password. I grew up with a password.
Yeah, we did too.
And if that person doesn't know the password and doesn't know the specific password that nobody would know, your child is not going with them.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Back to this for a second. So, yeah, teaching them to do that. That's good. And now I want to just give a couple of tips on.
We're doing good for time, babe.
I know.
We're doing great.
I'm just like, I was like, I want to get everything in. Okay. So for your kids, you want to teach your kids to obviously never accept candy or gifts from a stranger. But it sounds normal to us. But like, I was just talking to my girlfriend, Christy, and I'm like, your daughter, Shyly, would be like, yeah, okay. Like, even if you offered her broccoli.
Yeah.
She loves fucking food.
Mm-hmm.
And she's tiny. She's only 2. She's going to be 3. Like, she's so small. And obviously we're with our kids, especially when they're that small. But blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye. My Charlie was a runner. I actually had to put a leash on her.
Oh my God. Good.
I know. I was like, I always kind of looked down. I always judged. I was judgy. I'm like, why are you putting your kid on a leash?
Until
yeah,
it
I had a
happened to
kid.
you.
I had a kid and needed a leash.
Wow. Oh my God.
No fucks given. No fucks
Perfect.
given. Yeah.
Okay. Never go anywhere with a stranger, even if it sounds like fun, because they can make anything sound fun.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Let's go to the water slides. It's okay. Your mom said that I could pick you up and she was going to meet us there.
Yeah.
So try to play out every scenario with your kids.
Yeah.
Every scenario, because you just don't know.
This is almost even for adults, guys. Like, I'm resonating with this. Like,
Tiffany's like, okay, I'm coming with you. I'm going to the water slide. She's like, that sounds like fun. She's like, of course I'm gonna come.
well, so-and-so said that.
Oh, Dave's gonna meet you up there.
Yeah.
This is not funny, but it is with Tiffany. Oh my god.
We're being real, and
Yeah.
this podcast is fucking awesome, and
Yeah.
it's awesome because we kind of laugh at shit. But
Yes.
this is serious shit.
This is serious. Okay, tell your kids to run away, scream if someone follows them or tries to force them into a car. You scream, you say, I don't know you, someone help me, get away from me, you're bad. Like, make every attempt, and that would be child or not.
Yeah.
Tell them to always let you know, even if someone threatens them or says they will harm you or their family. So it's really important to let our kids know that if a stranger or a family member says, if you tell anyone your family's going to be harmed, tell your kids that so they're already prompted to know.
Yeah.
That's a given.
Yeah.
But this isn't talked about with a lot of kids.
I know.
Like, I talk about it even with Cassius. He's going to be 4.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, somebody's going to offer you this. What do you do? And I just keep, we keep testing him.
Totally.
And he's like, I say, no, I don't do it. I don't go. I'm like, perfect.
Take a hard left.
I thought, yes. Yeah, so letting them feel comfortable and letting them know that you're going to be fine. And adults do lie and say things.
Yes.
To try to get you to do things
Yes.
or go with them. And always ask a parent for permission to go outside or leave the yard.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in the house and you have older children, they need to check in. Hey, Mom, I'd like to go outside. So I know how moms and dads can get really busy. And they're like, yeah, okay, no problem. Try to pay attention to that moment.
Yeah.
This is also another huge thing. Pay attention to what your child's wearing that day.
Yeah.
Always know how tall your child is. Make sure you have updated photos of your kids, even dental records. Like, this is scary because this is going to, if they were to be abducted, of course, we don't want to even go there.
We don't want to think about that it's possible, but it is possible.
It's possible.
It's happening all the time.
Yeah. So, like, pay attention. Where does your kid want to go? What do they want to do? Put these systems in place because we don't want to end up being like, fuck, I wish I did that.
Yeah.
Teach your kids their name, their phone number, their address, how to dial 911.
Yeah.
Even little kids. Like, Cassius has made a mistake and he's hit like that emergency number, and they're great.
Used to it.
They're great on the other end.
I'm not gonna lie.
So I'd rather my kid press 911 and know what the hell it is than not.
Yeah.
So huge things. Huge.
Just want to punch.
I know. So for that girl and that family, when Tiffany told me her story on Sunday, and then mine came up, I was like, we're talking about this, obviously. Tiffany was like,
It was so prompted.
Oh.
It was so prompted. The one thing that we haven't actually touched on much is the social media part of things, so things online, because obviously everybody's online. Literally everybody is online. And I have seen some really fucked up situations. Predators will prey on children online. If you don't know this, then you live under a fucking rock.
Yeah.
They will pretend to be a child.
Yes.
And will prompt your child in many ways. Many ways. And eventually it could end up getting them to meet.
Yeah, because it's just a friend.
Yeah.
It's just 14.
Yeah. So we talk about this so huge in our, like, with Charlie and Cohen. Well, Cohen's a bit older now, but like,
Still.
oh God, there's no, you don't friend anybody and you don't give any information whatsoever. Like, absolute, that's a hard no. Like, no.
Yeah.
So just obviously that is a huge part of what we're talking about. A lot of that. Talk to your kids constantly. Learn some self-defense.
Yeah.
Just have that awareness. Don't sit and like exude this energy, so you're attracting it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put yourself in these weird, awkward
Weird
situations. Like, are you gonna walk down a dark alley? Like, why?
Yeah, don't
Come
do that.
on, don't do that.
Yeah.
So,
And even like, you know, you go out for a restaurant with your girlfriends, and then each one is going home, and you're going home alone. Like, it's really important. With all of my friends, I'm like, text me when you get home.
Yep.
Text me when you got there. And it's like, if I don't hear from them, it's important for all of us to shoot a message to be like, hey, are you okay? Or to call them to be like, hey.
Totally.
Because shit happens in this world, unfortunately. So we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared.
God. Why? Stupid predators.
Well, this is what I think too. It's like those people, obviously, must have had some really bad things happen to them. And we don't know what happened in their upbringing. And I know people don't ever want to look at that, but either something terrible has happened to them, or they've witnessed some very terrible things to be on that path. And it doesn't make anything okay, but this is what I'd wish for. If the police become aware that there's somebody that's a sexual predator or a pedophile or whatever these are, and they go to jail and then they're released, I believe there should be some huge in-depth counseling.
Yes.
That they have to do in jail and after, to peel all the layers to figure out, where did this happen? Where did this turn?
But I feel like when you're that far in, you're so sick. Like, there's no real turning back. Like, it's a different realm. There's actually somebody that I would love to have on the podcast to talk about it. She was an ex-cop, and she specialized in looking for predators. Yes.
Okay.
She doesn't even have Netflix, because this is really gonna make you feel sick. But they actually have a movie on there. I think it's called Cutie Pie or something. No. Something.
I'm not sure which one
it's about child paraphernalia, or no, child pornography. Is that what I'm trying to say?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's about, I don't know. It's about making it okay to, like, in the sex trade. It's just a movie about it. So it's prompting it to be okay. It's supporting that.
Wow.
Disney also.
I know. There's a lot.
There's
a lot of, like, things that people just don't even
know
yet. And I do think that would be amazing if we could bring her on. Yeah. To talk about this, because
oh yeah, she's like
awesome. That's awesome.
She's obsessed with the work. It's all over her Instagram.
Okay.
She has a separate account. Like, yes.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, she is like,
she just knows
fierce.
Like, the truth.
Oh yeah.
Of what's really going on.
Oh yeah. Like, she has her
research.
Yeah.
Awesome. I would absolutely love to have her on to talk about this. I know. That's huge.
It's heavy. I know. Sorry guys. It's super heavy, but
it has to be talked about, and we are the ones that are going to do it, because we love the shit out of everyone, and we want you guys to be prepared and aware, and implementing all these tools for your kids, and sharing the message with other moms and other parents and people, because we have to take a stand. We have to start opening up our eyes and seeing what's really happening.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do.
Sign up for jiu-jitsu. Break some arms.
Yeah.
Break a neck.
Should we pull a card?
Yes.
So I was going to do Work Your Light Oracle card.
Okay.
And then I can do...
do you want me to hold your
an affirmation? I want to hold your hand. So, yeah, this one is definitely important tips and tricks. It's not as all that fluffy, funny.
No, it's not. I know, it doesn't feel good, but we're going to end it on something positive.
Maybe positive. Oh.
There, it
wanted to come.
It did. Oh.
Okay, so this card has come out every single week. Every single week.
What the heck?
It's trying to tell us something. Okay.
This was last episode. Same card.
So last episode it was pulled. I didn't pull it on the show. I did a affirmation.
We did that. It was a tower one.
I pulled this for myself and for you. And it was on every single episode before. And anyways, it's inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. It's like...
Can you expand a little bit more on...
Well, it's all about awareness, and it's all about tuning into the portal of your heart, listening to yourself, listening to your intuition. Don't put yourself in those places. Mm-hmm. It's like devotion, devoting to you, who you are, what you're about, where you are, what you're doing. It's very important.
Bringing all the awareness.
It's like
beautiful.
Sitting there being like, walk through the door, right?
Yeah. I had this card too.
This is the card that you got from Nikki. Then every week after, it's just happened.
Yeah.
So, I know, you should read it. Let's read it.
Let's read it.
You're going to read it,
Let's read it.
Because they're always helpful.
Well, it's good. I like sharing it from our perspective, but I always like to read it from the book because it is another way of saying it and another perspective, which can be more of an opportunity for
to resonate with our viewers.
Thank you.
It's a dick in a box.
You think
I was going to go one episode without dropping that? Come on.
I was waiting, but I'm like, while we were talking about the yucky shit.
No, not while we were talking about the yucky stuff.
Okay, so inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. You're being called to be a devoted student and tune into your heart to incorporate true devotion into your life. You'll be called to develop a regular meditation, journaling, or chanting practice, or to show up to your soul with a rhythm. To develop a daily practice where you fill up your well and spend time with your soul. All of the answers to your questions that you seek for are waiting for you in the portal of your heart. But you can't hear them unless you carve out time each day to listen. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. And so the more time you spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it will guide you. We are here to grow as souls. Earth is one big playground for the soul to learn. And you are being called to go deeper in your soul or increase your devotion by being a student of lineage or a spiritual teacher. If you have already been a committed student, then you are being commended for your devotion. Your guides want you to know how proud of you they are, and that the time that you spend on devotion is priceless. If you're questioning your career or life path, your guides want you to turn your focus toward devotion in this prayer. Please use me in a way that delights my mind, my body, and my soul. May my life be one big moving prayer. So work your light action. Commit to a daily devoted practice.
Every day.
And this, like we said earlier, in order to get more in touch with your intuition, these are the things that you kind of want to do, because we want to know what that intuition feels like, what the energy of that feels like. Because when you actually are put in a situation where your intuition's coming up, then you'll be like, oh,
is that it?
Is that it? Is that my intuition, or is that my fear? Or what is it? Like,
you want to know.
Pick it apart a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to get so clear on what these signs and triggers are.
Yeah.
That you're like, okay, this is meaning that there's something negative that's going to happen, or maybe not happen, but a negative feeling. Mm-hmm. So you're going to prompt yourself to go, I'm acting on that. I'm listening to that and trusting it. And we can't trust it if we don't trust ourselves. Well,
yeah. And this goes back to caveman days where we have this intuition for a goddamn reason. We were in a lot of
fight or flights.
Yeah, like there was a lot of really shitty situations I'm sure we had to be in order to survive. And and that energy goes along with somebody else that you're sharing it with. So if their energy is not lining up with yours, your intuition is going to say something and you're going to have to be like, back the fuck off.
Yeah. And listen to that.
Yeah.
And we wish for everyone to be safe.
Yes.
And healthy and happy.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can implement a couple of these little tips and that you start listening to yourself.
Be fierce, bitches. Be fierce. Stand in your power.
Yeah.
And all the good things.
Stare
Stare
back and give them that stare like, you know what? Not today, asshole. You fucked with the wrong one. That's Tiffany.
Cut your dick off.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening, everybody.
Thank you for holding space for us. We really wanted to share this message, and we'll come back with some more fun and entertainment, but this is some raw.
And
raw
real
downloads.
quick too, if anything has happened to you, we're here to hold that space for you also if you need to share it. If something else also happened and you haven't talked to anybody, maybe consider making a report about it, because if you don't make these reports and something does happen, they won't have anything to fall back on.
Yes.
So just because you make a report and just because you know that nothing's going to happen at that time doesn't mean that it's not going to be useful down the road.
Yeah, and like I'm so grateful for that dad, how like on it he was. He was just like, no, like, and think about it.
With me.
And this is the thing about what we want to do versus like action versus inaction. What he did, he took action, but not ego action. He took smart action.
Yeah.
He thought, what is going to get the best outcome?
Yeah.
Not him losing it and beating the fucking shit out of him.
Ugh.
That will only make him feel better for a moment. He took action and was like, hey, this guy needs to be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to also think of that. So if anyone is ever in that position, think way further down the road of how many lives you're going to be saving and helping by
100%.
actually doing that. So
yeah. Love it.
Everyone, thank you.
Okay. Ciao for now. See you next week. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Cute.
Crazy, guys. So, go on your Amazon, order your lipstick taser.
There's actually a lipstick taser.
Yes. Yes.
That's next level.
Yeah. Don't fuck with me. Oops. Yeah, it's, I know that, it's okay. You try. I know.
Like,
Ugh.
Tiffany!
I know that, pepper spray is illegal.
Is it illegal?
Yes.
What about bear spray?
That you can have that.
Okay, so let's have bear spray.
Yes, you have a fucking huge can.
They don't have little can?
No.
Oh.
So, lipstick tasers. It's kind of cool. Amazon. Check it out.
Retry again. We're having trouble connecting. Yeah, so we hope you all.
She's getting nervous.
I'm like,
she's like, it's
I'm
not
gonna
saving.
put positive energy. Okay, well, we're gonna go.
We're gonna wrap it up. Peace.
Cut it out.
Get out of here.
Till next week. Boo.